Hello, 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 hello. So how is everyone doing today? Sorry for a bit of a delayed start. For some reason my Wi-Fi is not working well today, so I couldn't use my usual separate screen that I have to monitor the chat. So today I'm gonna have to try to use my phone and see how well that works. So my responses in chat, I guess, might be a little bit delayed. Nevertheless, hopefully everyone is doing super duper well. It's time to start the next build. Before we dive into that though, I hope you guys had a chance to or plan on checking out the Jihu review. I'm really kind of happy with how that one turned out, and I hope that you guys enjoy the video. Let me know your thoughts. Very curious to hear and to know what you guys think about that. I try to be even more detailed than I usually am, and kind of try to enhance, I guess, the review from my usual style. And today we are starting the build that we were supposed to start last week, except that this last week was a bit of a wash. So in our hands we have the Anaheim Collectibles EX-S, I believe it's called. Practically this is EX-S, MGSD EX-S. This is going to be our first build in a series of builds that cover Sentinel Gundam designs. I also have on pre-order the other MGSD version, the red one. I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going to actually end up buying it, but for now we'll see. If I really like this kit, I probably will get another version of it. Pretty small box, MGSD, don't expect anything super duper special. Although the box seems to be opened. That's curious, I have not unboxed this yet. We'll see if everything is in place. I only opened the top package just to make sure everything's there. Bunch of runners. More runners. Any plastic indication on the runners? Nope, just the tags with the names of runners. Some effect parts, action base. Seems to be like an inner frame. A little LED module, with a battery, of course. Nothing surprising there, although I did not expect an LED module in this thing, not gonna lie. Spare batteries. Seems like the plastic on this one is extremely shiny. Let's see, I'm going to look at it closer when we unpackage all of this stuff in just a second. A few water decals. Let's see what we got here. So I guess alternate colors. A lot of spares, I would imagine. Electronics. Pretty well printed. They're really, really, really small decals, but quite precisely printed. No typos. That's good. That's a bonus. And a guide. Let's see what we got in here. Seems to be a bit of an old school. Oh no, there we go. It tells us what runners we need, I would imagine. I'm not entirely sure what this says. I'm going to try to use Google Lens in a second to see. So we are assembling entire parts immediately, or just inner frame? No, it seems like we go for a full part. LEDs go in the eyes. See, if there's a spot for LEDs, might as well just stick one of my own, because you guys know my relation with the battery-powered LED modules. I really do not like those. Seems like it's going to be a pretty short build. And last but not least is an action base. This seems to be exactly the action base. Was the action base 5 that Bandai has, or whatever it's called? Alright, let's get the big box out of the way and start opening up these runners. to see whether the plastic is any good. As per usual, I did not look at any reviews before building, so my opinion remains unaffected. Anyhow, how are you guys doing? Hopefully everybody had a better week than I did. Let me tell you, getting sick sucks, especially when you plan a lot of stuff to do. Oh, this is just straight up metal, not even wires. Yeah, alright. Usually things like that would be like a wire encapsulated in a, rubber or whatever, like usual wire. Yeah, so plastic is really shiny here. Seems like a fair amount of it. Like this is not undergated here. Some is undergated. But it is very glossy. Let's see if we can try to focus on it. Hopefully you guys can see, and it gives off quite a bit of a gloss. Like it reflects the light pretty well. Wonder if it's done on purpose here. So we're gonna assemble a couple of parts and see if it looks any good. Because sometimes when it's done well and it's done intentional, glossy doesn't necessarily mean bad, but sometimes when it's simply because the plastic is cheap, and the only solution is top coat. We'll see. For the inner frame, black plastic, and it's also pretty glossy. Gold parts. Seems to be like molded gold rather than plated gold, so the effect is not quite as strong as when it's plated. These metal things. Yellow is very kind of acid yellow. Alright. Get these wires out of the way, otherwise they're gonna be annoying me. More inner frame, more shiny plastic. I assume all of it is ABS. Just double check the guide. I would be really surprised if it says the plastic type. It does not, so yes, ABS. Grainer frame. Some molded surface level detail. Fingers. Plastic is also pretty shiny. Green effect parts, eyes. Kappa sabers. Sabers are not extremely. It's more like a dull, transparent plastic. If you compare it to something like in ERA effect parts or SNWA effect parts, those are much clearer. This one is a little bit murky. Let's see, more armor parts. Yeah, it must be done on purpose because it's like almost intentionally glossy. So far, no shipping damage. They also use these thicker plastic bags for packaging. That's not very common. Some vendors sometimes put a few runners in these thicker bags, like for, you know, like plated parts, because those are more expensive, more fragile. I believe this kit at the moment on Gunpla is actually on sale, so if you guys want to get one, it might be the best time to do so. Shiny black plastic. There isn't like an excessive amount of detail printed into these plastics. There's a lot of like free room. Still some, but not much. Runners are packed back, not back to back, but front to back, so there is a little bit of damage. I assume these parts, at least in this particular case, are actually going to go under some white armor. But there is definitely a little bit of rubbing damage on shipping. That's not cool. Ooh, this one is even worse. Actually quite a bit of surface level damage on this part. You kind of see it very well when it reflects light, because it's so shiny. It's a very common thing that happens when the runners are packed like this and not like this. It's quite visible on dark runners. Not good. Action base shouldn't be anything unique. That's a very glossy action base. Like, this is definitely on purpose. It's like candy. Usual bits and bobs for the action piece. Now, green plastic doesn't seem to be quite as shiny. I'm sorry, blue plastic doesn't seem to be quite as shiny as white. It's a bit more like regular plastic. Doesn't look too bad, honestly. I wonder if blue plastic would really benefit from some top coating. A bright shade of blue though, which is great. That's sometimes bare like blue or green plastic looks quite shit if the shade is a bit dull. There's a very subtle texture that they tried to do on the beers on this plastic, but they didn't really pull it off. Too subtle. Like the Jihu, for example, is even the green plastic on Jihu has better texture than this one. And lastly, a few more runners. Last tag. Let's see. Pretty bright red and gray inner frame. not too bad, looks pretty typical. There's this grey inner frame plastic, and it's shiny. It's a bit on the cheap side, not gonna lie. I really like it when the inner frame plastic is PS, partially because PS, I like working with PS more, and also PS looks more matte. I mean, I have my Vidar right here. Review for that one, by the way, will come out this week. Well, I mean next week, not this week, but you know what I mean. Hold on a minute. I have a bunch of wires there that the USB power supply. I just want to show you what I mean about PS plastic looking a bit better than ABS, especially when it comes to inner frames. Easier to manipulate a key that has a USB wire running to it. So like on my Vidar, on the inner frame, like this green inner frame that comes through here, that's not like coated or anything like that. The armor is all top coated and flat. Mr. Premium, I believe, flat. But this is not top coated and it still looks pretty flat. And this, by comparison, it's a bit of a darker shade, but because it's so shiny, not cool. Not particularly cool. But it seems like this entire kit, the MGSD EX-S, is going to be a bit of a shiny out of the box experience. For Vidar, the Cosmos LED video, that is, should be dropping next week. Unless something else happens to me, who the hell knows. Let's put it here. Let's slide Vidar into the view a little bit so you guys can see it. Such a cool LED kit by Cosmos. I did not expect them to go that far in with the Vidar, because it's rather simple master grade. And I didn't expect them to go and give us so many inner frame replacement parts. So, you know, the LED kit is actually turned out quite extensive for it. Definitely exceeded expectations. Anyhow, let's grab at least two runner and docks, sort this thing out, and start building. One. See how many of these bad boys actually gonna fit in there, because some of them are on the wide side. No problem here. No problem here. The smaller ones a bit later. Oh, yeah, these guys fit. Very nice. This one is definitely too wide. Let's maybe pop a couple of these. Okay, so on some of these runners there is no... What's the freaking letter on this runner? Am I not seeing it? There's no like tags sticking out. Hold on a minute. D. I'm supposed to just know it? Okay. Well. side. I don't think there's necessarily any risk in me stacking them front to back. They're not going to move much once they are in my position. Excuse me. I miss this gigantic Vivian. Somewhere at the back. Okay, we need two standoffs for the larger runners. Boom. Oh, actually, the base is definitely going to go last. Alright, so first they seem to want us to build the head. So let's get on with it. Pretty quiet today, boys. But everyone is doing fine. Week, how are things, whatever comes to mind. Let me know. I was actually thinking about the streams this week at some point. Mostly like how are they, you know. Hello, my man. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Yes, I was like thinking about the streams during this week, and I was like, you know what? They are more like therapy sessions, if anything. Pretty chill, pretty low key. Tend to have some nice conversations during these streams. I wonder if at some point I might even rename them to like Model Kit weekly therapy sessions. Hopefully they are as much of a therapy as for you guys as they are for me. They definitely are for me. It's good to connect with like-minded people. Forget about work, forget about everything. Just have a good time. Oh, hold on a sec. Is this runner... Oh. It's a bit of a unique approach. So like this runner D, its middle section actually need double parts. and they print it separately. They sort of snap it off. There's no tag. Bit of a like a budget operation, I guess would be the right word. I mean, nothing wrong with that. D, G, then we need letter L. B. Not the crazy, I imagine. Yes. H, O. H. H might be white. Oh, H is the big boy. R. R might be one of the color parts. Yes, indeed. And O is yellow. Here we go. Oh, sit stand desk for the build. Dude, I have the same. This desk, I got it a couple years ago. Originally, I was using my desk that I used to use for drawing. It was like a desk that you can elevate the back of it, so it's easier to draw, like, you know, like architect's desk. It was pretty good, but one day that desk, I leaned on it and it broke and it fell, and I was a whole debacle with that. But yeah, I also got a sit-stand desk from, I think, DSPIAE a couple years ago during a Christmas sale or something like that. Oh, lifesaver, lifesaver. I don't tend to build standing up much, but it's good to have that option to shake it up from time to time. My office space desk is sit-stand as well, and that one is a lifesaver. I absolutely love it. This sit-stand desk, I found most use of it, just for me personally, from for filming. The quality of life improvement is unbelievable, because I use this desk to film reviews as much as to build stuff. And having the ability to elevate the, you know, the entire kind of scene, rather than adjust your tripod and your lighting, oh, really good stuff. Big boy, 75 by 63, L-shaped. Shee, that's a big one. L-shaped ones have for free. Wow, man, that's a hell of a catch. Very nice. Sit-stand desks are amazing. My other one, like this one, is a basic. Excuse me. I mean, this me like slight coughing and clearing my throat is gonna be a thing for this stream, my guys. So hopefully you can tolerate that. Yeah, like this one is like a basic desky desk. I think I sized it custom to specifically work with 2 A2 cutting mats. And it's a bit of an extended depth for filming purposes. But the only regret I have with it is that for the legs, I went with the basic version of the legs, which means it gets a bit wobbly if I lean on it too heavily with my considerable bulk, or when you know, raise it near the limit. In retrospect, I would have rather spent a little bit more cash to get reinforced legs in it. It's still not too bad. My personal desk, like for my office setup and for my gaming setup, that one is a custom job. That one is solid as all hell. That one I actually bought it back in Europe, and it traveled with me to Canada. R21. R21, are there any R's? Yes, R20 for the eyes. But yeah, man, sit-stand desks are freaking must at this point. Really helpful stuff. You're back, well, thank you. Even like minor adjustments, so you like maybe just a little bit too low for how high you want your seat to be today, and all of that matters a lot. For sure, that's a solid bar map. 19. Got that. Is that it? Only one L part? Okay. Back in a runner dash. Stand up. Charlie. Oh, that's G. George. From the jungle. G1817. Is your exit close to being done by now? How far in would you say you are? Sure, man, for sure. G1718. L. Yeah, we did L. Huh. Oh crap, there's also L8 for something. I need to bust out Google Lens there in a second. There's a bunch of text in Chinese that I frankly don't understand. Hold on a minute, is there anything on the second page for the head unit? No, great. It's like a bit of an old school guide, but with some modern basic necessities such as runner indication per stage. Alright, D24. There we go. Face mask. Love the video, thank you very much. Appreciate the kind words. I'm really glad that you enjoyed it, man. I was really hopeful that you guys would enjoy. Turned out a bit longer than expected, but actually the original edit for it from a couple days ago was even longer. I cut out a few parts where I, even after all the edits, it was a bit ranty. I think it turned out nicely. Bit late to the party there, but I'm sure you guys will still enjoy the video. That kid was such a beauty. I mean, seriously, Jihu, Mother Nuclear, knocked it out of the park there. They usually do a good job, but all of those gimmicks that kid has, I was not ready. I was not prepared. I thought it would be just, you know, straight up cool design, maybe a couple of gimmicks, decent plastic as the expectations are for Mother Nuclear. You know, after Mortal King and Lu Bu, I knew that the plastic would be good, and I expected the plastic to be good. And the design, I liked it from the promo pictures. So you know, that's all I expected out of it. As I went to the final stages of the build, those armor gimmicks are absolutely bonkers. And they're done so tastefully. I was torn between giving it 5 stars or 4 stars. At first, I was sure it would be a 4-star kit because of the missing saber effect parts. I mean, that's just freaking cheap. I mean, how much does it cost to include a runner with 2 saber effect parts? Or just add those effect parts to the runner that has you know, effect parts for the eyes and for the cameras on the chest. A fraction of a cent, I would imagine, and it's still not included. And you have saber handles, and you have really cool storage compartments for the saber handles. Right? That really kind of spoils your impression. But when you have it all like built, done and dusted, once you start kind of playing with the kit or just looking at it in its final shape, I couldn't not give it 5 stars. It's absolute beauty, absolute beauty. And he's heavy. I mean, 720 grams, I believe, is what it weighed at with its own action base and most of the accessories attached. It is a very beefy boy. It's about 2 to 3 times heavier than an average master grade from Bandai with an action base. So on par with 172 scale in era Fenrir, a bit heavier than Fenrir actually. Very big boy, very sturdy boy. I actually have it currently in my one of my Apex Time Ultra display cases, which usually hosts some of my favorite 1/6 scale figures. I couldn't allow it go to the shelf, not quite yet. Yeah, whatever they do next in that lineup, I'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. And if it's anything of, you know, this type of design, militaristic, mechanical, I will be very much looking forward to checking that out. I assume they will also keep on doing their, like, fantasy kits. I would imagine that's their bread and butter. I even saw some comments and posts online sort of criticizing them for doing this one because it's pretty far away from their usual type of style. Anyway, selfishly, I don't mind, but I appreciate the sentiment nonetheless. You kidding me? Well, nah. If I could help you get yours sooner, I would. But at the same time, if your anticipation of the kit increases because of my video, then hopefully I've done my job correctly. Well, not in terms of selling the kit, that's nothing that I'm interested in, but showing you, I guess, the kit you already purchased and I guess reassuring that you've made the right choice. It would be great at some point to be able to do reviews like much sooner and much faster, so you can actually use you know, thoughts I share with you guys to make your purchasing decision. But that would only be possible if the vendors like Modern Nuclear chose to, you know, give me early copies, which I guess in theory is possible, but I would imagine we're some ways off doing that. And from one point of view, it's sort of like, for me, it allows me to take my time with the builds, make them prettier, make them nicer, because timing wise I cannot possibly compete with many other channels that are, you know, a bit more established. And all power to them. I'm telling you, if at some point Modern Nuclear reaches out and says, hey, SK, we would like to work with you and maybe give you early copies of our kits. I'll be like, hell yeah, good sir, let's rock and roll. I'm still gonna slam your kits if I don't like them. Well, if you're willing to give me early copies, be my guest. Be my guest. Although I don't think I'll be willing to sacrifice, doing custom work and stuff like that, so I'd imagine still would be a bit behind the curve, but not as much as I am these days. Know what I mean? So that edit the gimmicks well, didn't just add them for the sake of having... No, for sure, the gimmicks on Jihu are actually, I guess, for all intents and purposes, they make sense, ish. Even though I really liked the top of the backpack gimmick where you like pull the lever and it slides out the cylinder where I inserted the LEDs. Like, I think I saw it in a dream when I was writing the script. I was like thinking about the kit a lot. When I was dreaming, I was like, if that was a rocket, like a nice, cool, small, well-printed rocket, that would have been so much cooler in that particular spot. Because imagine if you like pull that lever and it kind of slides out a little nuclear missile. Ooh, man, that would have been dope. Those batteries are fine. They're fine, nothing wrong with them. But I mean, imagine if it had a nuclear missile. Sky Defender and weight. I did not weigh Sky Defender for comparison specifically, and on purpose, because in my case at least, Sky Defender's weight would not be true. Hold on, I'll mute myself for a second to vacuum up the stuff and then I will elaborate on that. Back. So in my case, I did not weigh Sky Defender for size comparison with Jihu because Sky Defender can have different, what would you call it? It can have different configurations, whether you use metal joints or not. You can also use different amount of metal joints, and that's going to change the weight of Sky Defender. Then my Sky Defender has LED set applied to it, so that changes the weight quite a bit because the Cosmos LED set for Sky Defender is actually quite a large one. So I thought about it for maybe a minute and then I kind of discarded it outright. Kind of that reasoning very quickly deterred me from doing a weight comparison there. Also, to be completely honest with you, moving Sky Defender around is a freaking chore. It's a very large kit. The way I have it posed with the power run into it, I just felt a bit lazy, not gonna lie. Every time you have it on your desk, it's like having perfectibility unicorn. You have to reframe the shot. It's detaching it from the power supply and getting it out of the shelf. Because the way I have them, all of those are excuses, right? Don't get me wrong. But like most of my kits that are that have custom LED sets or Cosmos LED sets. All of their power boxes, they are hidden behind the shelves and the wires are carefully run and they're just long enough to work because I don't want to have like, huge dust collecting wire bundles all over my house for the LED sets. But I have a lot of LED sets, custom or not. So, which means that once the kit that has an LED set goes on a shelf, getting it off the shelf is not something I like to do if I can help it. So that's why, for example, GVDAR is still on this desk. I just wanted it to be kind of, you know, visible during this stream. But once it goes on the shelf, it will be, the control box will be hidden out of the way, USB wire will be run to it, and it won't be as mobile anymore. A bunch of excuses, but you know. Okay, is this a how do you activate this LED? Is this a what do they call it, magnet or not? I don't see a switch. Hold on a sec. Let me quickly try to use Google Lens to translate whatever they say here. Where's my Google Translate? Battery lamps is battery correctly reverse before installation, but you don't tell me where's plus, where's minus. Okay. Front of the magnet facing out. Okay, but where is the magnet? I don't see a magnet. Oh, I see the magnet. My bad. My bad. Magnet is just exactly the same shape as the batteries. There we go. So it can be red. Okay, so let's see if the memory is persistent in this LED thingy. Because if it is, I can just wire USB leads to this. And it's not. Well, piece of junk. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. Yep. So like if I select one of the modes and I disconnect the battery and I connect it back, the LEDs are not on. You need to tap it again, which means this is going to a little pile of shame that I have in one of my plastic containers that stores all of these LED modules that are useless. Let's install it for now so I can see where to run the custom LED wires later on. But you know, at least, hey, speaking of Jihu, at least you get an LED module, no matter how shitty, I guess. At least you get it with Jihu. They just show you a big cavernous space in the head unit and the chest where you could have an LED if you were to try and find and buy it and install it. So when I say that Jihu's articulation and gimmicks are phenomenal, they are really phenomenal because they outweigh huge problems like not including LEDs and effect parts. If it was a complete package, I would have still complained about LEDs being battery powered. But if in like alternate universe, Jihu had a, let's say, 2 model kit versions, a basic version that let's say doesn't include LEDs, but of course has effect parts, and it had like a premium version that's, let's say, 20 to 30% more expensive than the basic one, and that one included let's say an LED set that is similar to what Cosmos does, so USB powered LEDs, maybe some basic remote functionality, that's it. Then the premium version of the kit would have been the best kit of all time, like hands down, no competition. Everybody step aside, modern nuclear is the new king. But we don't live in that universe. Oh, it's actually the red lights are quite strong there. They almost punch through the green effect parts. That's pretty cool. There's a rather large kind of space on the inside that I will use to yeah, there's more than enough room to run LEDs. I guess this thing, I need to do a bit of drilling though to run the wires out of this thing. But it seems like this notch is a prime candidate to be cut out and for the wires to kind of exit behind the neck. This kind of makes it look like a droid from Star Wars, right? It really does, like these two eyes. Looks pretty cool. Okay, let's put it back on. Just gonna keep it on, I guess. Let the batteries run out. I will take it apart off stream and modify it later. It takes a lot of time. It's kind of boring to watch. And it also gets messy because I bring a bunch of tools on the desk. See if the part fitment is actually good. Oh, well. Before I say anything, I better disconnect the parts that are not supposed to be connected quite yet. Okay, pretty tight, but not bad. I'm a bit afraid of disassembling it later because of how tight it is. I don't want to ruin it. Let's try to take this part off and see how difficult that is. I guess it does come. Hold on. Got the exit to finish first. Yeah, so how far along are you with exit? Sorry if you already answered that question. I'm not as diligent on chats as I usually am because I'm kind of looking at the chats on the side of my phone. Usually I have a tablet in front of me, like out of shot, but for some reason today it doesn't want to work. So if I missed the chat or two, my apologies. You know what? I might even not do a custom LED on this one because I've done custom LEDs on every single thing I've built so far. I had these type of LEDs. You know, I'll decide later. For now, let's just assemble this bad boy and not worry about what happens tomorrow. After all, some model kits, I can always take it apart later. This actually shiny plastic reminds me of in Era Aurora. That one also had white plastic that was really shiny, like really shiny. Might even bring it over for a quick comparison later. Because it's so shiny, it is a fingerprint magnet. Ooh, it's already looking smudged up. I did not eat any Cheerios, or Cheetos, or Pringles, or anything before the stream, I swear to God. later. This part does not want to fit. Why is that? There is just a little bit of oh, well, that makes a little sense. That is because I have the wrong part. Hopefully I didn't damage anything. Just about done with the torso. Nice. If I remember correctly, you're also using LEDs, Cosmos LEDs with yours, right? So I would imagine you have her plugged in and shiny all the time. I remember when I was building mine, whenever I completed any part, I immediately plugged it in and had it entertain me while I was working on other parts. Same with perfect grade unicorns. Oh, badass looking head. Bit of a gap on the back though. Bit of a gap. P. I don't think I've done that. Hold on, let's find runner P. I'll be this bad boy. 13, 14, that. F should be the sort of effect part, I guess, for the wires, no? Let's double check. That would be O for yellow. F is black, right. Gotcha. F12. And F11. Oh yeah, man, they are really beautiful. Don't remember if I mentioned it to you or not, but if you are doing Axia with the Cosmos LEDs, those I don't know what they call, but basically the things in the knees and the front of the chest, like reactor cores, they have a bunch of them. The Cosmos LEDs, they don't have any diffusion in front of them. They're just straight up surface-mounted LEDs. And the default transparent plastic is not very good to dial down the shine, like the direct light that will hit your eye. What you can do to mitigate that is water decals. They actually come in handy there. What I did on mine, I think even on the core side, like the chest core, instead of using water decal, I used the original sticker and I put it on the inside of the part. So it still looks good, and stickers, they're a bit thicker. You can't really tell it's a sticker, but it does a perfect job diffusing the light. Same problem with knees. If there is some other medium that you can come up with to fill in that void and diffuse the light, it will look pretty good. I had not solved that problem with the top of the head camera. The LED from Cosmos there on the top of the head, like the forehead above the eyes, it's actually a very strong LED there, and the default like stock part does very little to tame it. So there's any like trick you can think of. It might it might come in very handy there. It's not bad. Just a bit annoying when you have that direct light hitting your eyes. The hell? Why is it not connecting? Oh, I'm an idiot. This part is also like it barely connects. Okay. And I'm not a huge fan of this yellow color, not gonna lie. It's a bit too yellowy. This. Ooh. Little green camera right here. Boom. No idea there, though it would have been nice. It's quite a big head unit. There's definitely room for activities, if you will. I'm not sure if I will go for it, but there's definitely a possibility. You can even see the PCB from the top. A bit of an oversight there. Like you can see the green PCB slightly sticking out there. Let me show you. Let's try to zoom. I guess you can see it. It's hard to see, but it's right there. Sort of can see it. That's not cool. Yeah, there's a bunch of room. The PCB occupies quite a bit of space on the inside, so if you really want, you can probably create a gap here behind the neck attachment port. Run the wires, put 2 wires for the eyes, and even probably run one of the small LEDs to power this camera. Can make it look actually pretty dope. Let's see, I'll need to consider if I want to do an LED mod on this one. So I'd like to kind of build it rather quick. Right, head is done. Head is done. These are wire connectors, don't need them for now. Let's move on to the chest. Hell yeah, man. Appreciate your chats. Enjoy your dinner. And we will go and build the chest assembly. Well, I guess the entire torso. Yeah, then we have the waist. Okay, let's see what we got for the chest. ACDGH. This is H. A. C. D. Do this fella. Oops. G. These two are M. Nice. B. Where is O? O is yellow. There we go. Any more H34. Oh, it's a big cockpit part. Final color. 16 and 15 for the grills. We'll go for B, red parts. B15. I'm actually gonna move the dart to be in front rather than behind because I keep bumping it with my hands. Let's see if we can make sure he's still in the shot for you guys. Ish, more or less. I wonder if I can maybe angle it so that you can better see its light effect show. Hold on a second. Like that. Bit to the front, and this one a bit to the back. Bit twisted. But I guess it will do for now. It's weird having it positioned so that it looks up. Can you guys actually see it? It's kind of behind the text there. Let's move it down a bit. I guess it's the best I can do. I'm gonna have to move the... Maybe in the future I need to relocate the text. For now though. Yeah, hopefully you guys can see the effect show going on with that one. The video will drop, but next week we'll be covering the LED set for Cosmos with DAR. Let's maybe make it do things. At the moment it's static. I think I can swap the modes. So what we got here, flicker red, that's a bit seizure inducing. There we go. So doing some pulsing. Can increase the brightness. That's about as bright as it gets. The lights are pretty bright for the live stream, so see on the video how bright it actually is. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty strong LED effect. Maybe drop it a bit more. Oh, kind of danger zone here. That's too far. It's gonna flip over. Come on, Action Base, you can do it. Boys, I think that's a bit better. Nah, I don't like that. Needs to be more. How about disconnecting these parts is always a bit of a hassle because they tend to shoot out. There we go. Like that. Huh. That should be near perfect. Hey Taco, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for dropping by. Doing all right? Okay, any more M parts? No. Let's move these runners back on the dock. I was just fiddling with my MG Vidar so you guys can actually see it. It keeps being something in the way. I want to be able to see the LEDs as they shine here in the background. It's either chat or something else obstructs it. Okay, well, it stays there. Hopefully it's good enough to where it won't annoy me that you guys don't see it. But what annoys me now is that I don't see my freaking guide. Man, choices. Everything is very complicated. Okay, anyway, 504, 1318. L1 and 21. Where's L1? This is L1. Alright, just put finishing touches on first part of painted Oberon. Still needs mod code. Page. Hell yeah, man. That's pretty quick progress on that. You are knocking them out of the park, dude. Very productive, very efficient. One day when I grow up, I would like to be able to build half as fast as you do, my amigo. A bit of a slowpoke. I heard a lot of what did I hear? I think I heard a lot of comments about Oberon's been a bit of a flimsy boy. Is that true? I have it in my backlog. One day I will get around to building it. But I wonder, is there anything you think I should be like aware of before I build mine? Chances are I might forget your advice, but let's see if it sticks. Just I guess preface that I don't watch reviews for the kits that I plan on building, so that, you know, my opinion can remain my own, with the exception of some like really old Bandai kits. Obviously, I was getting into the hobby, watching a lot of reviews from the likes of Eka, sort of pulled me into the hobby. For anything new, essentially, I don't watch reviews until I build it, and then I watch them and see how my thoughts and execution compares to others, and try to learn from it. But yep, so anything super bad or risky about Oberon? You would advise someone else who wants to build it to look out for? Or is it all peachy? Vidar was a very fun build. Yeah, Vidar is a great build, man. Vidar was a great original build. It's pretty simple. Very, very friendly build. C910. Looks beautiful. He, like, arguably not a very good build out of the box because of the plastic being very, I guess, basic. Bandai did not bother do anything special to the plastic, so because it heavily relies on blue and black plastic straight out of the box, it might look a bit underwhelming, perhaps. Although the PS inner frame is gorgeous, black inner frame plastic parts are pretty good, they're shiny, and the what else looked good? The pistons, I believe, come plated out of the box, which is a nice touch. But the bulk of the armor being blue and black makes it look a bit of a boo out of the box. The building experience for it is really good. It's pretty simple. Bolden is really nice on Vidar. So when we were revisiting it, my apologies, last week on the live stream, adding the LED kit to it, it was a pretty easy job taking it apart. No major problems. A6 and that's done. Alright, parts ready. Now we can proceed to clean them up and assemble the torso. Still have 2 parts to paint: legs, waist, back. Oh, quite a few. Very long paint job. Ooh. Do you like, so obviously when you want to paint a part, do you like do a lot of sanding to make sure that the surface is perfectly even before you apply paint? Because obviously, like, for example, what I do for the gate mark cleanup is specifically for non-painted builds, right? I would imagine if you're doing painted build and it's not undergated, you first have to kind of do this regular gate mark cleanup, and then you have to like sand the part quite a bit until the surface is perfectly even before you prime and paint it, right? I would imagine. because you don't really care if the surface of the plastic is a bit shoddy, as long as it's flat, or I guess even for the primer. So I'd imagine quite a bit of sanding goes into the prep. As there are issues with mine with Oberon, some parts are really tight to put together. Alright, we could deal with that. I have an entire toolkit for that. I have a hammer and 2 types of pliers. And if none of them work out, there is always a proper hammer, household hammer. But that usually is a one-way ticket for a kit. Haven't done that yet. One day, someone will suffer that fate though. I meant someone in terms of kit, not someone as someone. Panels on the sides of the head can be tricky to stay on, but fine if you sand and cut properly. Okay, panels on the side of the head, good to know. Tight fit, we can deal with that. Making things stay in place, we can deal with that. Second Oberon. So I take it the first one you built was the original one, that's a kind of white version. Is the second one also white and you do a different color, or is the second one that dark release? Because I believe there is a re-release for it that's all like I think it's black and red. I don't remember. And then that, just be careful to make sure what's an up and what's part of the kit. Alright. That's a good shot. I actually had, I have done a couple of mistakes like that in the past. I have been known to be a bit too excited with my nippers, cutting things off and whatnot. Good to know, thank you. I've done this method of cutting out parts using sand sponges to sand and wash and paint. So flip it down. Yeah, makes sense. I assume that's the process always with painting, where you prep the parts through whatever sequence of methods and techniques you use. Then you paint them, and only then do you assemble. I do exactly the same for top coats, bar full sanding. Except for top coats, I guess the process is slightly different. Ultimately, top coat, and at least in my case, I only top coat individual parts. I know some crazy guys, they're top coating assembled parts and they just mask what they don't want top coated. To me, it's maybe don't even mask. That's, I would imagine, it's just probably a rookie mistake at first. So other than that, like usually you prep the part, you detail the part, you decal the part, you do everything you want to do to the part, and then you go ahead and blast it with some top coat. Oh, I cannot wait to do some top coating this summer. I'm not sure if this MGSD EX-S is going to get any top coat. I'll say I want to assemble it first and see. Because the white plastic on this thing is extremely shiny, almost as if on purpose. So I don't want to don't want to change that. I usually tend to top coat when it looks bad without, not necessarily to change the kit, rather to fix it. $400, 1K, 3K, great, both original. Oh, damn. Both original white, I gotcha. My apologies that I forgot, I'm sure you've mentioned already, but what was the color scheme you decided to go for with your current Oberon build? I'm sure you have mentioned it already, and I'm really sorry for forgetting that, but could you please remind me? Assemble to make sure it all fits, then disassemble. Yeah, I do the same. Maybe I wasn't clear enough. Quite often I will assemble the kit, even if I plan to, you know, pin align it in top coat, whatever I plan to do. Quite often I will first assemble like this. This is at the moment assembled. There's a pretty high chance I will take apart this head unit because I want to probably chrome the underlying inner frame parts that kind of stick through. At the moment they're just dull black. I think chrome will look better. And I'm still undecided whether I'm going to do LED mod to this or not. Because default LED unit is just a battery powered thing, which is nice to have, but batteries, and I hate batteries. And there is no LED in the front camera, and I think it could really benefit from a tiny LED being put there. But yeah, like putting it together is definitely a step I prefer to do, so you can kind of see it in flash and see whether the plan you have for it is gonna work. This was very challenging due to the amount of parts and not going exactly where they went with each paint color. Alright. Interesting. So you kind of changed your mind then. The scheme changed a bit and ended up with mica blue and magenta. Okay. Lighter blue and metallic violet. The wings will be flat aluminum. Well, that's going to be a very bright color scheme. Interesting. Do you use like one of those apps on your phone to create a color palette? The color scheme to determine whether the colors you plan to use are actually kind of fitting together or not? Get the exact shit you wanted. Sucks. I would imagine like straight up aluminum wings is gonna be extremely bright if they are like not flat. But then if they are flat, they will look like this. Like on my MG Vidar, the silver. So I've chrome painted some of these details, and after top coat they look aluminum, pretty much aluminum. it changes the vibe quite a bit. Like if it's aluminum that's shiny, it's gonna be really bright, man. You might lose some detail. But if it's aluminum that's flat, it will look pretty heavy. If that's your intent. Kind of trying to visualize. Have you considered something like maybe a shade of aluminum like gunmetal? If you have like really bright blue color scheme on the main body with violet accents, I wonder if gunmetal with maybe gold accents could be a nice balance to that. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. If spend X on my phone, I can do that for Oberon instead of Watson. Oh, nice, that's a cool approach. So it's called Ibis Paint X. I'll actually screenshot that name for future. One day I will end up painting. It's good to know. Metallic gray. I see, so you want like aluminum, but not necessarily like shiny aluminum. Well, that's interesting. Color I have in mind, I guess. What I'm trying to say is, if I pull out these guys, there's gunmetal. Well, they don't per se have anything called gunmetal, but I think there is a couple of colors that essentially look gunmetal. Hold on a sec. A little digression. Let me grab maybe a piece of paper. There's something that I can plop these colors on. I have this from my parts organizer. Oh, they do have a gunmetal, but it doesn't say so here. Oh, it does. Okay, I guess I'm blind. This one is a bit dark. This doesn't look anything like stainless steel, I'm not gonna lie. Dark steel. Looks exactly the same. I wonder if it looks different on like a more solid paper. No, it does have a pretty strong green tint. Well, it's just straight up black almost. Here. Yeah, I guess in my head it did not look as dark as it looks in reality, but effectively I thought gunmetal, but a brighter shade of gunmetal. So it would not be silver, but rather Yeah, well, I don't think I have like a sample, any marker that has the color I have in mind. Anyhow. X-Men Archangel. I don't remember what that looked like. I'm gonna have to Google that. Yeah, there definitely is. But the gunmetal shade I had in mind was a bit different than what color he has in that set. There's like a million gunmetal colors. Pretty thick gate mark there. And another one. Boom. Okay, give me a sec, boys. I'll mute myself to hoover up these nut marks. Yo, how's it going? The build is going. It's going. We've assembled the head unit. It's quite a bit of progress in my book. So far, I mean, the kit seems pretty alright. The fit seems fine. I'm not yet decided on whether this extremely shiny plastic on the armor was a good choice by the maker, but it is very shiny. I also need to like probably temper my expectations just a little bit, because coming off of Jihu, I expect everything to be spectacular. Coming off of Jihu is like coming off of like a Fenrir or freaking Sky Defender. You need to come down to earth. Have you guys had a chance to check out my review of Jihu, by the way? Really hope that you guys enjoyed the video. It's a bit of a big one, but I hope that it's entertaining and super informative. Part of it I shot with the lens that I rented for a test ride. Are some pretty cool shots that I usually cannot pull off. Did I forget to cut out one of the parts? I did. Oh, damn it. Yes. Pretty cool lens, not gonna lie. Pretty cool shots. It's a super duper wide angle lens. And it's also able to focus up close. So you can get pretty much next to the kit with your camera. And it creates that sort of dynamic up close experience. The entire MG Vidar Cosmos LED video that will drop next week, I promise, pinky promise, is actually shot on that lens. Just gonna hopefully have a pretty cool look. But that lens is now back to the store. I think I'll be able to afford it anytime soon. I really wanted to test it to see if it's worth saving up money for. And the answer is yes, very much so. It's a dope lens. Let's clean this bad boy up and knob marks. Okay, so this goes at the front. Snaps in place like that. I'm really surprised bandai did not make a... I guess they don't show much love to Sentinel, but I thought Sentinel was like well beloved by the community. And they make a lot of MGSDs. I'm sure if they made Sentinel MGSD EX-S or any other design, it would be popular. It would sell. Okay, what am I doing here? I am doing this. Oh, forgot one gate mark there. Get out of here. There we go. Clean. Am I supposed to open it up? Yes. Okay. Let's, hold on a minute. How are you not? What are you doing? What am I doing? There we go. Pretty good engineering by this company on the torso. I wonder if there are any interesting gimmicks. Obviously, they had no original bandai design to sort of go off of. P, that would be red. Red would be going in here. Oh, bit of a tight snap. Okay, so we have, it seems like we're gonna have open cockpit. Let me know what you think of the color. Oh dude, the color scheme that you suggest is great, man. I'm sure it'll look dope. I don't know exact shades of blue and purple you're going for, so it's very hard for me to honestly judge or provide opinion. And it really depends. Like sometimes the colors you don't like, you kind of see them in a completely different color, no pun intended, when they are presented alongside, you know, a really nice mix. If you can share the in a community post, perhaps the you know, the on paper palette that you created for it, you know, we'll be happy to have a look at that. I'm sure others in the community will be glad to provide feedback too. Keep in mind though that whatever it looks like in real life, when you take a picture of it, it goes immediately through your phone's, you know, color correction, color science, whatever, and then it goes through compression on the Facebook side or YouTube, so that changes the color even more, and then people look at it through their own screens, which have a great variety of color accuracy, whatevers. what I'm trying to say is that sometimes, for example, when I make my videos, I know obviously what thing looks like in real life, and then when I edit pictures or videos, I have my main monitor on my laptop that I use as my reference screen because it's kind of the best monitor I got. So my goal is to make sure that the colors in the video on that monitor look exactly like they are in real world, like they look to me in real world. Then, you know, I kind of try to achieve as close of a look as I possibly can in a video editor. When it's rendered, it's still pretty good. It's still like looking pretty nice. When it gets uploaded to YouTube, they crunch that video like a mofo. It looks immediately almost like a couple of shades off. I've gotten a bit better at it. I'm not like a pro super duper editor. At first it was really bad, and now it's a bit better. So now it's still like, I feel like I give you accurate representation of what the thing looks like in real life to me. But even the video that I render locally on my computer before I upload it to YouTube, if I look at it on another monitor, like I have a monitor for my work, for like office job, a regular Dell monitor from my employer, it looks nothing like what it looks like on my laptop that I use for video editing. Like nothing like it. The color scheme is completely different, and the brightness is off. And then I put it up on my TV when it's uploaded. Another perspective again. So it's really hard to judge colors. I just kind of settled on trying to make sure that at least it looks good. So if you guys ever want to like a closer, more accurate look at colors and stuff like that, my recommendation, like if you if you watch my video and you like the look of the kit and you want to get a better idea of what it looks like in real world, check out the high-res pictures that I post in the community page on Facebook. 'Cause those photos are, they're still JPEGs, so they are processed and stuff like that. Not original raw photos, but still they are a bit closer to reality in terms of color. You can see texture, you can see more detail as well. So the camera that I use, it can shoot raw photos, not raw video. That is way out of my budget. So yeah, well, I guess it's a very long answer to a rather simple question. Look at this tiny cockpit. Imagine the size of the pilot that has to go there. That would be like this snub mark. Sheesh. Amazing video. Thank you very much. At least it has an MGL aerial. Which one? This one? EX-S? Do you think EX-S is aerial is gonna get a proper MG? Granted that she has real mechanics, or whatever it's called, RE. Because it exists in that, right? It's like mechanic scale, master grade scale, but not master grade detail. Obviously, it's straight up armor, basic articulation, no gimmicks. Cosmos LED said, yeah, I have her. It was a very early build of mine. It is still on my to-do list to revisit and fix a bunch of stuff and apply metal etchings to. Wonder if that's gonna happen in this millennium, considering the size of my backlog. What do they want me to do? Do they want me to attach this first, and then the arms, or the arms first? I don't think there's any interaction with the arms honestly, so I'm just gonna plop them in. It's been a while since I've built a master grade SD. Forgot how tiny these guys are. I don't know why, like chat got MGSD before MG, which is a real sad considering how many people want one. Oh yeah, I totally feel ya. They don't seem to be pumping out many master grades at all. And MGSD is definitely their major seller at the moment. I know that on some markets, Japan and China, I heard, or maybe I read, it's been a while, but I definitely heard the info. Like smaller model kits and figures actually are very, very popular because people tend to live in smaller spaces, so it's much easier to collect those. Kind of makes sense. And ultimately, I would imagine whatever drives revenue for bandai, that's whatever they gonna invest in more. If from their point of view, master grade SDs sell better, then obviously they will be investing into designing more model kits on that scale. They're easier to print, they're probably faster to print. There is less to design overall with a smaller scale. And they can price them pretty high. They're not cheap master grade SDs. They price them without hesitation pretty high up. Okay, A. What was runner A? I think I already put it aside, but I should have cut out one apart from it. Is B. Oh, there we go. A is blue. There we go. I think where I heard it is Hot Toys. They have obviously they're 1/6 scale figures, but they also have like smaller figures that actually are quite popular. Don't remember what they're called. Yeah, MGSD Kshatriya, I'm very much looking forward to that bad boy. Will be a nice, cool little companion for my Cyrus. Can even like embrace it with those massive wings. You're not sliding on. What's going on here? Oh. Excuse me. And we are on. Nice. Ish. Yeah, for the most part. I don't think it goes flush. Okay, then. I miss out on so many parts and runners. I don't get it. I thought I looked at all of them, I pulled all of them out. I need to pay attention, seriously. But yeah, like going back to the MG and MGSD, I mean, if obviously MG line has a huge amount of kits already, they can just keep making money by reprinting them. I mean, look at the recent reprint of Faz and the EX-S. There's a bunch of stuff that got reprinted, like really cool stuff, and it all sells out from what I can tell here locally in Canada at least. Like when I see Gundam Extra putting them out, like a notification that, you know, the shipment is incoming and there will be a reprint for this, or like putting it on their Instagram saying that they will go live on a website on that day and blah blah blah. If I want one of them, I obviously make sure that I, you know, favorite it, and when I get notification I buy it, or I try to source it through them otherwise. But whatever it is, when I check the website in a couple of days after they dropped, they're all sold. So clearly Bandai does not seem to struggle to sell their popular kits, if you will, be that master grade or else. Have huge stocks though of stuff that doesn't seem to sell as much, more like obscure master grades. So, plus imagine if they want to do a new master grade kit. Let's say if they want to do a master grade Kshatriya. Obviously it will need to be much more detailed than the HG. I mean, that HG is really dated by now. It needs to be kind of true to their, you know, original design. But they simply cannot ignore the fact that Osiris exists, and whatever they do, it has to... Obviously, they're not gonna make like MGX Kshatriya. I doubt they see enough market for that. But whatever they do, it still has to be good. Like, so it's larger scale, it's more detailed than MGSD. So it means more development time, more investment up front, then bigger printing, more plastic is needed, bigger packaging, more shipping costs. Like from pure business perspective, if you have a hotline that is cheaper to invest into and you don't necessarily care about the community, or you can sort of afford to aggravate the community, you probably take that gamble, and that's why they did it. Kshatriya MGSD. Like, are we still buying it? Yes. Are we not happy that there is a new Kshatriya kit? No, we are happy. We are so unhappy that there is no new MG Kshatriya that we're not buying MGSD. Well, unless we do that, it won't necessarily see a sign to rush and make MG Kshatriya. Know what I mean? Oh crap, I forgot that chest part before I slid this blue part on. And now we're in a bit of a pickle. A bit of a pickle. Let's see if we can get ourselves out of this pickle. Ooh, that sounds pretty good, man. That sounds pretty good. I think I'll have some grilled chicken for dinner today. Maybe some mac and cheese to go along with that. I feel like it today. It's a good day to grill some stuff. Always is a good day to grill some stuff, but grill every day. Might not be able to leave your house soon. Why the hell is this part not coming off? Yeah, nice to see you back. Ooh, there we go. Hopefully nothing broke with that little explosion. Oh, well, something did. There is a little ridge on the inside that I guess is used to snap this part in place. Either enough of it survived to still work, or I damaged the part irreversibly. We're about to find out. Come on, why are you not sliding on, you silly goose? Go. Right now, please work. Please don't be broken. No snap, but it's not falling off. So good sign. Good sign. Why is this not... what? What's happening here? Oh, well, that's what's happening. Trying to attach the wrong part. This one goes actually under. Boom. I'm curious if actually the kind of engineering on this MGSD EX-S, if it's better or worse than the 1.0 EX-S, because that's going to be the next build after this one. I mean, this one is pretty simple. It's nothing super duper insane so far. You have some basic articulation points here and there. There is some crunch, actually quite a bit of crunch. Look at this, quite a bit of crunch. There is opening, I think there is a backwards lean, but I need better leverage at the bottom to, there we go. Because this is like a fold joint here in the middle. Well, it leans back quite a bit, pretty good range. The upper torso is like on a ball joint. So, sort of fold in butterfly joint here. Is it butterfly? No, it's not butterfly, it's actually just a ball joint, so it doesn't really open out. This is a super cute little cockpit with a, I don't know if maybe you can fit a mosquito there, a tiny one. On the head unit, obviously we only have this thing opening up where you can attach the wire. This mine sort of shoots out. And nothing else. No. Curious to see how they compare. I want to have both of them next to each other. Totally bond these things like outside, yes they do. What are the chances that I'm going to use the correct part on the first try? Pretty small. But not zero. Look at that. Boom. Oh. This one is not going in. Can we help it? Seems to be correct part, but Something is not letting it slide on. Let's see if we can help it just a little bit. Okay, so it's inner side. Oh, there we go. Oh, popping back out. Oh. Just to be correctly shaped so I did not mix them up. Okay, we're in. Mostly. It's not perfectly flush. Okay, and now we put this bad boy in. Ow. There's a pretty good chance I will be taking this bad boy apart and at the very least, if not the OBD mode, I will be doing some detailing to this fella. There's a lot of parts, even on this tiny frame. There's a lot of spots where the inner frame kind of sticks through the armor. It's a bit boring when it's just gray and black, especially gray. I think. Good old chrome pen is gonna do some work with this one. I just received the refills for my DSPIAE chrome markers. Need to test them out, need to put them to good use. Oh, that is a beefy chest. Big as boy. And these go on top. Kinda don't mind it being really that shiny. It looks intentional. It doesn't look like it's just straight up bad plastic. Give it the bubble head that it deserves. Yeah, this mine is just, it fell off already like 3 or 4 times. Ooh, and this neck is a bit weird. Hold on, fellas. We can. Oh. The head is bigger than the chest. Alright, looks not bad. A bit funny, which is I guess intentional with that's what SD stands for. You know what, let me grab my MGSD, maybe Barbados or maybe Strike Freedom. To like sort of do a quick comparison. Actually, you know what? We're gonna grab both. Here is Barbados. They are nearby anyway. And here is Strike Freedom. Strike Freedom is extra spectacular as per usual because of her wings. Because the reason I want to compare is that I know that MGSD is supposed to have like oversized head, but is it supposed to be oversized by this much? It seems to be like they've gone a bit extra spicy there. Seems like the chest is slightly smaller than... Let's take the mace off. Let's put you aside for now. Back gimmick is a bit annoying. We're kind of in the vicinity of the scale, but it seems to be more SD than MGSD. It seems to be a bit smaller. And the head is a bit bigger. I don't know. I need to assemble kind of the entire thing to better judge. The initial impression is maybe the proportions are a bit too wonky. Maybe. Well, like looking at the Strike Freedom, that guy's head is bigger than this one. Let's take that out of the way. Yeah, Strike Freedom is definitely has a bigger head. And smaller torso. It has very large shoulders. So yeah, I need to assemble the rest of it. So yeah, compares. Because obviously these guys, both of them have shoulders and waists, which play heavily into the perception of scale and proportions. I'm sure to cut it off. This one actually has a pretty small chest. Yeah, we'll see. I'm getting the impression that they've kind of cranked the head size a bit too much, maybe. Maybe. So they didn't have a bandai model kit to directly copy in this one. They had to come up with their own design. Well, with their own version of the bandai's own design, let's put it that way. Let's give its mace back and return it to the shelf later. For now, it can chill out here behind me. The desk is busy enough already. Boom. Let's catch up on the chat. Nice, man. At two weird shops in my country sold more Gunpla. Currently, the only thing I can do is order third-party kits. Been complaining, but MPG Banshee after Nemesis is weird. Nemesis, PG Banshee. Oh, Unicorn Banshee, alright, yeah. Why? It's a great build from what I heard. I only done one Unicorn, PG Unicorn, the Predictability one. That was a pretty good experience. Obviously, a different experience from Nemesis. Nemesis is a phenomenal experience, but I didn't think Unicorn was bad. Good plastic quality, so working with the LEDs and stuff like that, the transformation gimmick. That was pretty good. It's pretty good. Cam for today, I was... Dude, when it is on a sale like that, you know what they say, you cannot afford not to buy it. You cannot afford not to buy it. Simple as, dude, I will freaking glue this mine in place. Just bare touch, it falls off. Anyway, let's assemble the waist. We've got... Oh, that's not even... Oh, these are the shoulders, huh? Yeah. Because I know that the EX-S design is all about, like, super duper big thrusters and guns and stuff like that. So I guess maybe they even made the torso a bit smaller, so that there's like a lot of bulk around it. This gap is giving me some ADHD issues. Put it out of the way, forget about it for now. AC D HLMPR. That is H. That is LMP. I don't remember what color R. Green. Nice. Yeah, I guess maybe I should get some Crown Xeons, so it's like the Gelgo Gamers Gog. Yeah, to each their own, man. I keep buying HGs with the same kind of logic. Whenever I see them, they look pretty cool, and they're on sale, I buy them, and I try not to think of the number of HGs I have in a backlog and the fact that I am still to build a single HG kit. And we are over 3 years into this journey so far. With Jihu, we are 56 kits deep, and none of them have been HG. I've started gifting high grades to some of my friends who are into the hobby, knowing that I will never build those HGs. But some of them I really would like to build at some point. Some of them are pretty cool. A lot of like, which from Mercury high grades are dope. A lot of GQ high grades are dope. I have a lot of like rare or limited edition high grades. They either snagged at a decent sale on AliExpress, or when I attended Anime North this year. H1819, this one. At some point I'm gonna have to crack that lid open and start building freaking HGs. But the longer I wait, the more sort of is a thing that I haven't done it yet. And the more pressure is there to make it meaningful when I finally start doing it. Doing the high grades, I mean. That might have sounded a bit weird. H3529. Conjo, hello, how's it going, my amigo? Nice to see you on the stream. How was your week? You alright, my man? Sorry, it took me a second to get to your message. Gonna look at the message, do some work, look at the message, do some work, so I can go through them one by one. And occasionally, I look at a message and I just go on a 5-minute ramble. H is Dunzo. R 2223. Is that it from R? Yes. Okay. Back to the pile. B16. Red. M30, M16. 30. This is 30. somewhere here. Where is it? 30, come on, ah, there we go. Close enough. Like mixing HDs in, they are almost like a palette cleanser between detail. I agree, I agree. That's a valid point. It's a totally valid point. And maybe that will be... Maybe that will be how I begin doing them, to sort of do small breaks between larger builds. But, there's a big fat but to consider. Even if I do a smaller kit, I will still... So like if I look at the amount of, you know, and it's purely personal consideration, right? If I do a smaller kit, when I do it, I would still want to make it worth your time, guys, to watch the video that I eventually make on it, right? So the default presumption or assumption is that I film every kit I build. I do not build kits off stream or off the channel. No matter how weird or obscure they might end up being, you bet if I really like something, and if it's completely out of the norm or stride for the channel, it will appear here. That's how they, at some point, what was that, a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I had Gadooms, really weird stuff, but didn't perform well either, but I liked it, and I didn't frankly care. So if I start building high grades, if I just do straight up build without anything special, just straight up build it, what is the value for you guys watching it? I hardly will be able to give you anything you don't know about that already, because those kits have come out a good while ago. So everyone and their grandmama have done their reviews on them already. If it's a straight up build, you won't see anything you haven't seen before. So that won't help. I probably will not necessarily like it as much, because just building a kit for the sake of building is, you know, you guys probably know me well enough by now that I just don't do that. Like even whatever I consider a straight build, there will be an angle to it, or some sort of a thing that I try to do that attempts to differentiate it from what you've seen already. However small, still, there is something. Or at least there is an attempt to have that something from my end. Doing any of that, even if that's editing, like doing super duper cool poses, so that the video is worth watching. The way I look at it is, when I do that, it turns what is a simple build and a quick build into either a longer custom work cycle for it, or a longer editing cycle for it, or longer whatever else, like trying new techniques. All of that translates into time, and it stops being a quick build very quickly. It's kind of one of the ways I'm sort of rationalizing keep collecting high grades and not building any for now, is at some point, hopefully, the further I go into this journey, the better I get at doing custom stuff, and when I eventually start painting, that's when I can easily, theoretically, choose to build a high grade that you have seen probably 1,000 times by then, but give it a paint theme that I want to go with. Something that maybe is not trivial, or something that's been done before. And then all of a sudden, that turns into a worthwhile undertaking. But that is not where I am right now. So, kind of, you know, bit of a behind the scenes into consideration for me. I know I probably, you guys probably don't even care. These are their positions as much for me as they are for you guys. So. Hopefully you at least appreciate the inside. But yeah, let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing me build high grades. Like with the current approach, where those high grades at best maybe would be getting, you know, some final detailing touch-ups. Definitely no paint job, and definitely no top coat, because that can only happen for a couple of months a year, and I would plan some bigger builds for that time anyway. So, yeah. To be honest, for now, those palette cleansers are kits like this. This MGSD is a palette cleanser after Jihu. Even Jihu, honestly, I thought, because like from previous builds, Modern Nuclear I've done, Modi King and Lubo, they were actually pretty quick builds as far as like my building speed is concerned. The turnaround and them between me cracking the box open and dropping the video was some of the fastest on the channel since I've started like doing proper reviews and not just dropping the footage of me building the stuff and ranting off the hand. And I thought the Jihu would be fast as well, but I ended up doing a bunch of stuff to Jihu that sort of completely not planned. It's kind of, sometimes, you know, when you build and you feel like doing more than you originally planned, just go with the vibes. I definitely did not plan doing LED mod to it when I originally got it. I did not plan on. I thought maybe pen aligning would be a factor, but on prior Modern Nuclear kits, trying to pen align them was actually detrimental to the kit and to the aesthetic. So yeah, thoughts, decisions. Blue tack, yes, my man blue tack is definitely gonna be coming in handy with that mine on the head if it continues giving me grief. I was joking about super glue, because the thing is supposed to be removable, so you can attach the wire connectors and float that mine around. But the gray pack inside the head here that holds it in place, it is just a little bit too short. Like I would imagine if it was just like 1 millimeter longer, it would have been a better, sturdier attachment. At the moment, it's like just a little touch, it's already starting to fall off. Let's see if I can. I wonder if the wire holder has the same problem. It does not. As a matter of fact, the wire holder is actually very sturdy. And what about... oh crap, be careful not to damage this freaking V-fin. It's kind of in a way there. Let's see. I wonder if the wire attachment part... yeah, like the wire attachment black part is actually quite a bit longer than the the gray peg on the head. This one is, I don't know, it's like eyeballing it. Maybe even like 2 millimeters longer. It's considerably longer than the, like, have a look. Let me try to show you, boys. I'm gonna zoom all the way in. Let's see, where's the camera? So hopefully you can see there's a itty bitty gray peg right there. Right there. It's pretty short. It's I don't know, it's a couple of millimeters at best. 1.5, it's less than 2 millimeters according to this ruler. Just under 2. And then this wire attachment part that holds the mine has a much longer peg. There you go, much longer peg. And if I try to measure it, that peg is 1, 2, you were 3 millimeters. Holy crap. And because the mine itself is actually a 2-part thing, it really needs a longer peg to create a decent connection. Very weird oversight on their part. Like, this peg is good enough for the wire connector because it's a single monolithic part, so it kind of grabs onto the peg pretty well. Yeah, it's not bad. Even then, if you press it too hard, it falls off. But with a mine, like, it barely attaches. So like, if I just a little nudge, boom, it's off. Yeah, well, it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. It's just a bit weird. All it would have taken to avoid this problem is to have the peg on the head be the same length as the peg on the wire attachment. That is literally it. This is not bandai, so we cannot expect perfection. Your first Gunpla kit you built? My very first kit was Perfect Great Astray. I know, bit of a crazy first kit, but no regrets. I was so awed by the engineering, the detail, the amount of work, all of that stuff that goes into that, there was no way, there was no going back to Legos after that. I think I told that story before, but when I was the way I came across this hobby, a friend of mine who does Warhammer miniatures, and I'm a big Warhammer lore guy. Don't necessarily care about tabletop, but lore, I love Warhammer lore. So one day he recommended to me to check out Gunpla model kits. And I was like, ah, dude, I don't want to glue stuff. Because I was telling them about Legos and stuff like that. I was really into Legos before. They were like, no, man, you cut out the parts and they snap together. Like, no way. Oh, really? Like, yeah. So I went to a store nearby, and they had a bunch of like Warhammer stuff, and they had Gunpla as well on offer. And they had this big beautiful box with a dope-looking mecha with a katana, and it was just 200 Canadian or something like that. And I was like, wow, this entire box for just 200 Canadian bucks? Because, you know, coming from Lego, you expect a box like that to cost at least $1,000. Right? We're like, yeah, man, it's a good price. Hell yeah, it's a good price. Bought that. Bought a dirt cheap model kit tool set from Amazon. I don't know if they're still popular, but at the time, you could just go on Amazon and Like I want Gunpla model kit, the tool set. I give you like basic nippers, like really basic nippers. A file or two, some nipper, some tweezers, whatever. Got that, used them for maybe 5 minutes. I was like, screw that stuff. If I'm gonna spend my time trying to build that thing, might as well get proper set of nippers. So immediately bought the gut hands. I remember reading on Reddit, like I believe there was a post a few years ago that was like how to correctly take care of your gut hands, and I was like, wow, that is such a sensitive tool. I was afraid of buying it because the way it was written is like there was like a 20 rule list of not to do's or avoids, or they will just explode, as if. Yeah, as soon as I bought those nippers, and everything just started to kind of fall into place. I really enjoyed building that. I thought I did a pretty good job. I remember looking at the kit after a couple of years, and I was like, holy shit, what have I done to this beautiful kit? I did a minor revisit of it, maybe like a year ago, fixing a bunch of stuff, you know, like big nub marks and stuff like that. At some point, I really need to probably make a project and a video or something like revisiting my very first build and doing it proper justice. Like taking it all apart, cleaning up a bunch of stuff, and making it look truly beautiful. But yeah, Perfect Red Astray was my very first build. I don't remember what was the second one. Actually, I kept a little log on builds. I believe after that one I bounced back, and yeah, so after that I went with real grade Sazabi, so something a bit more reasonable, because after that model kit I discovered Zaku Aurelius, Mecha Kaikotsu channels, and I just started binge watching everything they released at that time, like by that time. And basically whatever I liked from their reviews for the next maybe like year or so, I was just building. Then at some point I figured, why don't I try to, because I was really enjoying doing that, it's like, why don't I try to share what I like with the world, because the community seems pretty nice. So just bought a GoPro, or used my old GoPro, I don't remember, started doing the time lapses, then tried my hand at doing reviews. And then when you, like, the channel started to pick up a little bit of steam, and a lot of very kind people, I mean you guys, provided a lot of like really nice feedback, suggesting how to improve the videos. At some point I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. So I got a proper camera, started doing scripts, started doing voiceovers, so that you can actually follow my train of thought rather than me doing way for like 80% of the time. And yeah, here we are. 3 years in to the hobby, I think as of April this year. I think a little over a year of like actually treating YouTube with some sort of consistency and seriousness. So far the sailing is smooth. And I believe ever since we started doing live streams earlier this year, we haven't skipped a week yet. So that's sort of a milestone too. Bit of a, you know, days without incident, if you will. Oh yeah, huge consideration. Like there were two factors that sort of made me consider taking this a bit more seriously. One was support from you guys, and another one was goddammit, because they, at the time I was sub 1,000, something like that, and they still offered to help with getting my hands on kits, and you know, effectively helping me out. Still do. Very much. Appreciate everything they've done for me. Been good. How's your weekend going? My weekend is going. My weekend is going pretty well. What is this? Saturday? Yeah, pretty well, dude. Pretty well. There's a lot of like noise in the city at the moment in Toronto because of the World Cup. So city is busy. Got some stuff to get done tomorrow. But yeah, this week sucked a little bit, not gonna lie, because I was sick since last stream pretty much. So the week was a bit of a wash, trying to fight through the Jihu edit. I really wanted it to go live like last weekend, but instead it only went live, was it today? But I tried like editing when I was ill, and when I did a little bit of work and I thought I did good work. And then when I came back a few days later, you know, without fever and shit, I was like, what the hell did I do here? None of it made sense. It's funny how your head works when you're like ill or whatever. Only that much for Australia. Yeah, man. At that time, I lived near. If you live in Toronto, and if you're in Warhammer, into Warhammer stuff, you would know about this store called Meeple Mart. I used to live pretty much next to them, and the TLDR on that store is that they don't really specialize on model kits, like mecha model kits. They're like more about tabletop stuff, minis, Warhammer, obviously, really heavy on that stuff. Really, a lot of like tools for that as well, paints, you know, you name it. They have like occasional model kit offerings, such as, you know, Gunpla stuff, and at least I haven't bought from them in a very long time, because I've been Gundam Extra a customer for years at this stage. I have no reason to change. They have good prices, and now they support the channel. Anyway, I digress. At least at that time, they wouldn't have a lot of stock, Meeple, but whatever they would have in stock would be priced like the best in the country prices, like extremely low prices. And it was before all of the, you know, the tariff stuff as well, so all of the prices were better at that time. Like these days in Canada, there's probably zero chance you can find Red Astray for that cheap anymore. Yeah, I have no idea how good we had it. Oh crap. Imagine they are telling us which mark to go for first, but it seemed to... Like, I could have just provided numbers. It's pretty hard to follow this guide. Okay, so... They say a bunch of comments like, I see on the page, provided in Chinese, but I don't want to whip out my phone every time I try to follow your instructions, guys. Okay, let's pop this one on. Then at the back, although I wonder if they want us to attach the other one. Perhaps. Does it matter when I attach this guy? Oh, a little gimmick here. Itty bitty. That maybe we should get into the hobby sooner. Man, it's never too late to get into this hobby. This hobby is on and up, dude. Like, I mean, if you were to look at this hobby from a couple of years ago, say when I was getting into this hobby, the pinnacle of third-party mecha was, what was that, Infinite Dimension, I believe, Judge? Don't remember exactly the brand name, but, or Zero Gravity Judge. One of those obscure brand names. But, you know, the Judge model kit, I mean, everybody knows about the Judge. And it was considered, like, I remember, who's that, Mecha made a video on that, a bunch of other people made a video on that, and I bought it, I bought that kit and I built it, and I was like, wow, that was a challenge to build it, but I guess I will steer clear of the third parties for now, because I'm not ready. I am not ready. Versus today, like, it's a night and day difference, dude. The amount of options you have, be that Bandai or not, is staggering. The bang for the buck you can get, even with all this stupid political stuff that goes on in the world, arguably, you as a builder have way more choice. Yeah, probably the net cost of the kit, of a kit, had gone up. Inflation and what have you, the political stuff, right? But you don't have to buy Bandai anymore if you want to have simply acceptable built-in experience. You can actually, you have options. And there are still, because of the popularity of Bandai kits, I don't know what country you live in, so, you know, chances are everything I say also can be probably inapplicable. But going from what I see in Canada, these days you can see Bandai kits everywhere. Like, you go to Canada Post to send a parcel, and there is a little shelf with Bandai kits. You're like, what the hell, man? A big shock for me was when I saw them in Canada Computers, which is like, you know, Canada Computers is like a Canadian micro center, if you will. Yeah, it usually sells like electronic devices and stuff like that. And all of a sudden they started selling Gundam stuff too, and actually at amazing prices. They probably still have whatever they have in stock, which is most of the time not much. They have it at like mad prices. Although sometimes they seem to also try to scalp people too, because I remember when the Lightning Nipper came out, the God Hand Lightning Nippers earlier this year in February, they were first ones, Canada Computers, to offer them at well over $100. And because I wanted to review them on the channel, I was like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna buy the bullet. Had I waited, I could have bought them for much cheaper from Gundam Extra at a normal price. So there is also like big difference between the price of a Bandai kit when it's like ways off being reprinted, and it's been a while since it was reprinted. They tend to, you know, the scarcity tends to drive the prices up. This out here, I've made that mistake when I just started in this hobby. I saw, what was the name of the kit? I'm drawing a blank. When they released the narrative, they also released another kit with it. Sinanju. Yeah, Sinanju Stein. So there is a master grade Sinanju Stein from, so that's like a recent release, Virka, and there is an older Sinanju Stein. And I remember I saw, maybe like on Reddit or somewhere else, somebody built that kit and they'd done a spectacular job on it. And I was, you know, being new in a hobby, I was still in my gear acquisition phase, where I was like, I need to buy everything now. If I can find it online, I'm buying it now. So I remember I saw that somebody built it and they did a great job, and I was like, holy crap, I have to have it in my backlog. I will build it immediately. You know, all the usual rationalizations you use. And I started looking, you know, no regular store had it in stock, and started like learning about reprints and whatever, but I didn't care. It was like, I have to have that kit. There is no way I can live without it. So eventually my choice was to either A, wait for it, which was not really a choice, B, buy it from eBay at a like triple or, yeah, pretty much triple the price or 4 times the price before, you know, taxes and shipping, or buy it for just triple the price on AliExpress and see what happens. So I bought it on AliExpress, and it arrived. I was not scammed. The box was a bit dinged up because AliExpress, if you ever tried buying model kits from AliExpress, what they do to save a buck is that they put them in soft packaging, so bubble wrap the box, and you know, you pretty much just pray it doesn't get used as a football by the crew. I was happy I got it. I put it in my backlog, and earlier this year it got reprinted, and now you can buy it at the normal price. I still haven't built it. I do have it though. I bought it for way more than I should have. But yeah, well, don't let this hobby get you into FOMO. This hobby is pretty good at that. It's pretty good at that. And third party are no exception. They especially more like obscure brands, not like in Era. In Era is pretty good at reprinting stuff, from what I can gather. But FOMO is a real thing, dude. It's a real thing in this hobby. This is kind of what also steered me away from 1/6 scale figure collection. Not only the reviews not necessarily being enjoyable, the entire kind of buying experience with Hot Toys is very not user or buyer centric. Whenever they release a new figure, they release promo pictures, which use pictures of not the actual figure, but a hold on please, let me focus. There we go. That is a picture of like a master golden copy of it, if you will. Right, it's the head sculpt, especially always hands down. It's not like the mass production version that's gonna come out. So basically, when they release pre-orders, you look at that, you're like, oh, I like the design, it's done so well, and you buy it, you know, place pre-order, and then when it comes out, well, the usual suspects get it early. They open it up, and it might look very different, but you already committed, and you know, and that's just acceptable practice. I'm just not that comfortable accepting that. I don't have to. And those are figures. Like, fixing a figure requires an immense amount of skill. Kind of not. Hello, my amigo. How are you doing? How was your week? How was your weekend? Hope everything is fine, my boy. Hope everything is fine. And most importantly, of course, have you yet had a chance to check out the Jihu review? And what do you think about it? Boom. Oh. Doesn't seem like it's, you know, oh, it is all the way, okay. Let's put this one right there. Almost perfect fit. Now at the back. Oh! Ow, nearly broke my freaking nail. Alright. So, these fellows go right here. Actually, I'll lock in. Boom, boom, boom. Hold on a minute. Did I miss? Oh, of course. Oopsie poopsies. Oopsie poopsies. Big oopsie poopsies. I managed to miss a critical freaking part at the very beginning. So we're gonna have to take a few steps back and fix this horrible mistake. Might not be easy. Okay, let's disconnect the back part. Feel the same as buying Tacoma Studio Synology converter kit for triple the price. Then the red one comes out. Go figure. Well, yeah, dude, I feel ya. The thing with I don't know much about resin kits, but from what I do know is that do those like ever get reprinted? I would imagine resin kits is almost like buying RAM these days. You buy it for whatever price it's available, and if you don't want to buy it, step away, somebody else is going to buy it. Like, they're not gonna haggle with you. really like to avoid detaching the white parts, but something tells me we might have to. Let's see, I'll try to pry it open a bit more. Practically all I need is just enough room to come on, yes. Now it should be easy to pry it open. Dude, how did I miss that freaking crucial part? Such an obvious thing. Had experience too with the RG new and high new. Used so-called Mandrake. Oh, there. That is not cool, man. The G, what? What do you mean? Gunpla? Okay, now we can reassemble this once again. Second try. Right here. Oh, that goes like that. And hold on a second. No. And like that. All right, now, like that. Kind of looks a bit naked without the mine on the head. Honestly, let's plop it back on, even though it tends to fall off all the time. Straight, what the hell? Really, how did they manage to mess up this attachment so bad? Especially when other parts of the kit have it done right for this exact part. Alright, so with the waste, Let's see how the proportions look like with the waist in place. Let's grab MGSD Freedom. Just a rake. Oops. Not as bad, honestly. Like, the chest is actually even beefier than on MGSD Freedom. Like, from the front, it looks pretty good. From the side, because of the EX-S design, the head looks obnoxiously, like even more than usual for an SD kit, oversized. Let's see for the articulation, I wonder. Because I don't remember what MG's this guy has. So it has... okay, so its joint flips out at the waist. Has pretty good torso articulation. Nothing crazy. And the attachment at the backpack. Well, this fella probably will be attached in here. Or not, I'm not sure. The articulation is potentially even like more extensive than on the MGSD Freedom. Yeah, look at this. Damn it. Disconnected. Because the flip joint in the torso, like if you work it, let me try to kind of grab onto this. It's not an easy job. So armor starts flying away if you try to grab where you're not supposed to. Let's try to put it back in place. Like that. It's quite an extensive lean forward, not gonna lie, even with the massive thing on a chest. This sort of the front of the waist, it kind of flips open because it has a drop joint for the thighs. Is it unlocked? Yes, it is unlocked right now. So if I grab one of the tools, there you go. Actually, it drops quite a bit, and then you can re-lock it. Boom. Which is something I believe that one does too. This is very impressive forward lean. Then sideways, because of the armor, is a bit limited, and the sideways lean is achieved through the ball joint at the top. So these armor things are kind of determining the limit of that. Then you can extend the torso in general if you keep this joint, flip joint sort of extended. Can increase in the height. It's a bit odd. But then we can also lean backwards. Let's see how far we can lean backwards. Well, it's about the limit of it. Pretty good. Actually pretty good. I believe this lean backwards is more than on Jihu, because that one struggles with lean backwards just a notch. Or forwards, one of the two. But then that one has this, that super duper fancy spacer at a lower chest, lower torso. If you work that, you get a lot more range of motion. And then you have an itty bitty pilot cockpit that opens up. Obviously we don't get a pilot, because in this scale it would be a tiny nav mark. It's still pretty cool to have it. Little gimmick there. Even the mine did not fall off throughout that articulation. Look at that, that's a new record. these guns are, they have a little sliding gimmick, but outside of that, there is nothing special about them. A bit boring. The back waist, no gimmicks. The attachment is pretty cool. This part actually, this blow part is attached to this blow part, and that's how they hold each other in place. But there is no sliding thing going on with them. And the front waist armor is just these two tiny parts. So far it seems to be more, if I may, like more basic, I guess, approach to MGSD than Bandai's, let's say, MGSD Strike Freedom. Here, the articulation there is maybe even bigger than this one, though this leans forward quite a lot. I think it has the same type of joint. Can I work it? Yes. Yeah, so this also has a flip joint that you can work. About side to side, yeah, it's also quite limited because of the armor. Backwards, huge backwards, yeah, not a problem at all. Let's snap it back. Arguably, front waist here is quite a bit more elaborate. I think one of them opens up, or both? No, they don't. It's from some other kit. But obviously the side weapons for the Freedom are quite cool, because they have this manual mechanism that sort of opens them up, which is pretty dope. I mean, compared to these, it's like you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. What else? The back waist, there's a bit of a monolithic part here. It's hard to compare because mine is detailed up and all done. Yeah. It's interesting because obviously this third party had to take Bandai's EX-S design and try to create their own model kit. Right, they didn't have a model kit to go off of necessarily in that scale, so it seems like they had to do a lot of engineering and design on their own. And it seems like they, for the most part so far, they chose like safely. Doesn't seem like yet they've taken any major risks or tried to do something brand new, if you will. It's pretty solid though, pretty solid. Nothing is wobbly, nothing is falling off. Except that this part might work itself loose. Still already time to slide down. So yeah, my boys, that is going to be it for the stream, I guess. Let's catch up on it. Spit of the MG's red MG, condemn it. So shipping, yeah. They also offered me the red one. I'm not sure. I will finish building this one first, and I'll see if I like it so much that I want another one of these. Then I'll get it. If not, maybe we will do something with the community, so you guys can get that one. We'll see. But yeah, so far the building experience with this one is pretty tight in places. The guide is not too bad, but it's not like the guide for the most part is old school guide, with the exception of they do list the runners you need per section. So like, it's a super duper old school guide with one upgrade, if you will. Then, oh, I did not realize there was no decal guide. Huh. Okay, well, that's gonna be fun. We'll apply decals wherever we feel like it. Because there are a lot of decals here. The decal sheet is actually, for this kit, is not too bad. Most of them seem to be generic. Most. Some seem to be pre-cut for specific locations. I'll do some research online to see where they're supposed to go. But yeah, most of them are just generic, sort of like plot whatever you want. And also do color variations of some of them. So the kit seems to be pretty good so far, tight fit as per usual. A lot of armor is extremely shiny, like here. Like, I mean, if you look at the head, it gives off glares, straight up glares. It seems to be intentional. From what I can gather so far, it's not just because quite often the armor is shiny or the plastic is shiny because the plastic is cheap. It seems that in this case they actually tried to make it shiny on purpose. But FYI, it is really, really, really shiny. All of it. Even the, excuse me, gray inner frame parts, they are glary as hell. Like, for example, if you compare it to the PS inner frame of the MG Vidar here, it's a night and day difference in terms of color. This is slightly brighter gray, but most importantly, it's matte finish. This one is shiny. So yeah. Seems to be like a decent interest in third-party MGSD. I'm definitely curious to finish this bad boy and review it on the channel. And then obviously next we're gonna build Bandai's Master Grade EX-S version 1.5. So it's gonna be an interesting comparison, hopefully side to side with that one. And that kit is going to get a top coat job and some custom work done to it. While this one, I will probably panel line and do decals and maybe some detailing, but we're not going to do anything super duper special with it. And I will most likely not be doing the custom LED mod for it. It has a battery powered LED mod that comes with it in the box. It does the job well, but as you guys know, battery-powered LED mods are dead on arrival. But honestly, I don't think I want to customize this kit and wire custom LEDs because that will extend the build time for this by quite a bit. I would rather build a master grade version and put more hours into that bad boy while we still can, while it's still summer in Toronto. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this stream, amigos. I really hope that you enjoyed this stream. I definitely did. I also really hope that you enjoyed the Jihu review video. Put a lot of work into that one as per usual, but I also tried a bunch of kind of new stuff, slightly different editing. Hopefully it's better, hopefully it's enjoyable, hopefully it's informative. And let me know. And I will see you all in the next video. And the next video will be next week. I promise, pinky promise. It will be a review of this bad fella. Not the model kit review, that's already live on the channel from like a year ago or so. It will be a review of the Cosmos LED set for it, which we installed on the live stream last week. And I'm not going to redo that, so that live stream is going to be like the guide for the installation, but also Cosmos Originals, Cosmos's own video on the Yanzi YouTube channel is really good LED guide for this. I also found their Bilibili channel, so I'll link to that. What I'm going to review from my point of view is, you know, what I think is good and bad about this kit, about this LED kit from Cosmos. Some kind of things to watch out for if you already have your MG Vidar built and you plan to install this model kit and you'll be disassembling your Vidar. There's a couple of things that, not many, but a couple of things where some damage might occur, so I'd rather warn you about that so you avoid that. Just general impressions, what's good and what's bad about the LED kit. Yeah, so that will drop next week. In the meantime, hopefully, Jihu review keeps you guys entertained. And I'll see you in the next one. Hope you have a phenomenal Hope you have a phenomenal rest of the week ahead. Stay in touch. Later.